Mom, the reason I'm writing you this letter is to tell you 6 months ago I got a few tattoos on my face. To be perfectly frank, the general reaction to them has been pretty bad. But it doesn't matter, because I really like the tattoo work that's been done. Tattoos have always been one of the most exciting and creative aspects in my life.
He was like a diamond in the rough that you don't ever want to polish.
When I was younger, I was reading a lot about Jean Cocteau and his films and his art and his writings. And I had come across this one book of his when I was younger, of a play that he'd been doing, and there was this very heavily tattooed young man. When I saw the photograph, it was like, this is what I want to look like.
In New York, a ban was put on tattooing in 1962. Supposedly, there was a few cases of hepatitis out of one shop, I think in Coney Island. And the ban was in place till 1997.
You know, I have to wonder as to whether tattoo parlors were really the source of a hepatitis outbreak in New York City, or as to whether it was just an excuse to ban something that the guardians of morality in New York City wanted to get rid of.
I couldn't find any tattooists to tattoo my face, and I had heard that it was illegal to get tattoos here in New York. And so a little light bulb went over my head, and I thought, since it's illegal, if I have the money, they got the time. So I came out here basically to get my face tattooed.
Yeah, people done it before, but he was like the first real well-known, you know, in the public persona who modified his body that much and came across as a real, you know, together human being. And that's big.
You know, like Dad used to say, you know, you want to get tattooed, that's great. You get your arms done, your chest done, it's your business. You get your face done, your hands done, that's everybody's business.
Like one time I was with them in the health food store, and this little German woman came running up to him and said, "Why? Why did you do it? Do you have children?" But he just took it in stride.
I'm aware that having an illustrated man is something people want in the sideshow. And before Michael Wilson comes along, there's nobody to hire with their face tattooed. It just doesn't exist.
Guy with tattoos all over his body. What got into him? Oh my God. But you really want to see him, don't you? A bearded lady? That lady is so fat. Come and see them. They're weird. They're the oddities of the world. They're not quite human like you. That's the whole thing about that. It's playing on that part of humanity.
He didn't want the audience to know he was gay. I think that made him feel very vulnerable, so he just tried to come off as this, like, tough guy.
He had juvenile diabetes. This was a huge aspect of his life and his well-being. He hated it because in his mind it colored a lot of his childhood, that he was seen as feeble or weak or sickly and he couldn't do things that other kids did.
And it was almost like he made this decision, screw this, I'm going to do whatever I want, and let the chips, you know, fall where they may. And so I always felt like it was on, he had a timeline on how long his life was going to be.
Do you know the story, the book The Little Prince? It was one of his favorites. The Little Prince lives on an asteroid, and he catches a ride on something and comes to the Earth, but at some point he has to go back to the asteroid, and it's too hard to leave the Earth, so the only way he can do it is basically to die, and he has to go meet up with a cobra. So the cobra is how he gets back to his asteroid.
My name is Michael Wilson, and I am the Illustrated Man.